Welcome back, guys and dolls. So at this point, we have our plan for the app and even the front end done with Lovable.dev. You would think now we can simply jump into the app building, right? Wrong, because our front end was built with demo local data. And as it turns out, we didn't have any real customer data to build this app with. Here's where we hit our first major roadblock. We had a beautifully architected dashboard, but absolutely no data to work with. So we had to get creative and build our own synthetic data generation ecosystem. Let's go see how that happened. Next, let me walk you through our solution. The synthetic data generation plan. Everything starts with that masterdata.json file on the left. This became our single source of truth, mapping our dealers, like Suntex Marine, Extreme Docs, etc., to their specific coupons and products. Notice how we connected real product names like fillet blocks and ship blocks with actual pricing and order value ranges. But here's the challenge we discovered. WooCommerce was easy. We could explore the data structure using Postman and understand exactly what order data looked like. But Google Analytics? That was a black box. We had no way to preview the event structure or understand what data we'd actually be working with. So we created a 3-script solution. First, generate wcorders.js reads our master data and creates realistic WooCommerce orders in the Woocom DB. Second, generate GA4 events.js takes that same master data and creates corresponding Google Analytics events, perfectly synced with our order data. But the real game changer was that third script, testGA4data.js. This gave us the data structure we needed to display on our dashboard. This centralized data structure was brilliant. It ensured our WooCommerce order data and Google Analytics event data were perfectly synchronized. Next, let me show you some of the surprises we faced even after the data was inserted. Okay, so I ran my Woocom data generation scripts, and I was pretty happy until I found out that Woocom REST API will not allow backdating or even updating the order date in any way. Trust me, I tried. So I had to manually change dates on all those 135 orders using this admin panel and organize them according to 3 dates. July 5th, 6th, and 7th, because those were our dates for Google Analytics events data. Now, let's go see what's waiting for our Google Analytics data. All right, here we are. I was very happy to generate our first set of events into Google Analytics. But here is the deal. Quickly found out that GA also didn't allow backdating our data. So basically, to generate 3 days worth of data, I had to run our data generation scripts 3 different days. Go figure. Also, turns out I had to limit by order limits to 15 per API call. Otherwise, it would fail silently. No error, no nothing. Then found out the next surprise. Okay, so even though on the previous screen we saw some real-time data, but to see accurate event data by a specific date like you see on this screen, I had to wait a minimum of 12 to 24 hours. Turns out that's the Google way. This is normal for Google Analytics data to show up on the proper screens. So guys, feel free to keep waiting after you insert your synthetic data. And this is where our test GA4 data.js came in pretty handy. This helped me verify inserted data pretty quickly and figure out the proper data structure. Before I end this video, let me share one quick screen with you. Alright, just wanted to show you what your .env file should look like when you run those data generation scripts. Especially 2 extra items you will need to insert data into Google Analytics are GA4 measurement ID and GA4 API secret. You won't need these when you're simply pulling data from Google Analytics. The property ID and the app credentials are enough for that. Also, notice on the left-hand side, you'll see data generation scripts and the master data.json file. Look closely and you'll see that they're outside of the SRC folder where the actual dashboard code is. Data gen scripts are kept totally separate from the dashboard code. Now that we have the data we needed, we are ready to build the dashboard with real data. Coming up next.